Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Mark, a trainer here at WEX Field Service Management, and today we're covering Maintenance Plans Advanced. This webinar will cover a maintenance plan setup review. We will go over some maintenance plan scenarios like taking payment up front and doing your maintenance visit later. Taking payment at time of service. So signing your customer up, not taking payment up front and doing that service later. Setting up a recurring payment plan for a maintenance plan. And then also looking at how you can track your recurring payments. We'll also look at some reporting. So tracking your renewals with the maintenance plan customers report, how to schedule your maintenance visits and send out reminders. And then we will end with selling maintenance plans from the mobile app. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into WEX FSM. All right. So today is an advanced course, but I do want to do just a quick overview of setting up your plans. And for today's example, we will set up a commercial plan. So, just as a recap, when you are creating maintenance plans in your system, you will need to add those plans as templates from the maintenance plan uh, template page. To get here, you will go to More Applications, Maintenance Plans. On this page, you will be able to create the different maintenance plan offerings that you have. And we created a residential customer plan in our basics. And now let's think about how we might make one for a commercial customer. So you will click New Maintenance Plan to create a new plan. And maybe this will be your, commercial plan. Add your plan description here. And then set your color code, whenever you're looking at the plans, it will show a star next to the customer's name. And the color you pick here will just let you know, oh, this is a red star. That is for my commercial maintenance plans. So contract length, you will want to set this to your preference. Basically, if I set this to 1 year, it will put the customer under contract for 1 year and will expire after that year. It will also build out 1 year of service window jobs. If I select 5 years, it will have a contract for 5 years. After the 5 years, that will be marked expired in your system. But it will build out the next 5 years of service jobs. And you'll use those jobs when you're going out to do the actual visits. But let's say we'll just do 1 year for today. We're going to talk about until canceled later when I'm going to do a run through of setting up a recurring payment plan. So we'll look at that a little later. But for just setting up our template here, we're going to choose 1 year. Annual price, this will be up to you how you would like to do this. You can either set the price at a $0 price point, meaning you will determine the pricing when you are signing the customer up and fill in the price. Or you can set a predetermined price. And so let's say for this one, this will be $500 for our commercial customer because we're going to be going out there a lot. Which income account do you want that to be connected to? Do you want to charge tax? Yes or no? Oh, clarification for those who were in our morning session, I did misspeak. And the answer is yes. So this auto send renewal reminders is something that is currently being worked on by the product team. So yay, it is being worked on. But there's no ETA. I did check. Yeah, let's go, Tracy. So we're working on it, but I did get confirmation. We are working on it, but we do not have a ETA yet, but it's a coming. Hallelujah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'll be great. Basically, when this is released, it will allow you to set up just auto renewal reminders. Currently, you can send reminders, but you have to send them manually. And, that can get cumbersome, especially when there's a lot going on. You having to go and manually send a reminder. You'll be able to auto send a automatic reminder that will just be sent when before the current maintenance plan expires. Okay. And then in terms of service windows is just such an important part of the maintenance plans because that's how you're going to run your jobs when you actually go out there. And for our commercial customer, let's say that we are going to go out there 4 times a year to do certain, maintenances. And so let's do January to March, April to June, July to September, and October to December. And it's very important that you're naming your jobs. Technically, you don't have to put anything in here, it's not required, but I highly recommend you name your jobs. And this is where you're reminding yourself of which service you're doing. So you can set this to whatever you want. Maybe an example would be setting this to literally say visit one, visit two, visit three, visit four. You could even get more detailed, and this could be, filter change. This will be, equipment maintenance. You get the idea. Set these up. Your office crew and your technicians will be able to see the name of the job, and it can just be a quick reminder of what needs to happen when you go there, or just tracking which visit from the visits you're offering are here. So that's just a way to set and name your jobs for the maintenance visits. And then we have our job types. Let's select maintenance. And when you're scheduling, you will want to make sure you set the default duration. Maybe I know that when I go out to this commercial job, it's going to be 2 hours minimum for all the stuff we need to check on the premises. When I go to schedule, it will just auto default to a 2 hour uh, appointment. All right, so we are good to go here. Maybe you have your commercial contract terms here, and you will hit Save Maintenance Plan. And here it is, our commercial plan. It's a 1-year contract. We're going to go out 4 times a year. These are the time frames of the windows. It's our red star. And when I go to add a maintenance plan, this commercial plan will be available in those options. Okay, that's an overview of setting up your plans. You'll want to come in here and just set up the different offerings that you have. And then when you are selling them to customers, there's a ton of different scenarios that you may run into on how you're actually signing your customers up for maintenance plans. So we're just going to go over some of those scenarios now. The first one, let's talk about you will take payment up front and do your services later. To do this, let's go to our customer, Mary Smith. I'm just typing in the customer name here and going to Mary Smith's customer page. So in this scenario, I have a customer who is ready to sign up for the maintenance plan and she's ready to pay today in full for the year. and then we'll go out and do the services, but we won't need to collect at time of service because we've already taken the payment for the year. To do this, probably the easiest way to do this is to just create a job for the maintenance plan, create the invoice, and take payment on that invoice. So let's do that now. Mary Smith, we can see she currently doesn't have a plan. Let's get her one. So we will do create new job form. I know that we are making an invoice specifically to take payment for the maintenance plan. So we're just going to make this a maintenance plan job. And then we will create this new job with a invoice. So click create new invoice. And now we have a nice little home for our maintenance plan job. That will be the day that we know we sold the plan. And this is the invoice. We will scroll down and recommend a maintenance plan. Choose the plan. Let's say we go with our Comfort Club plan for Mary. And then from here, we know that she's going to pay now. So we want to keep that charge here. She's going to pay $100 for the year. Let's hit save. This will go on as a recommended item first, but when you are ready to actually attach it to the customer, you will hit sign up now. In this scenario, very straightforward. All of this information should be correct. If you need to change it, you can, but we're going to just keep the price at $100. We're going to hit next. These are our service windows. We're going to go out between January and June and do the AC cleaning, and July and December and do the heat cleaning. When we go to actually schedule, this is the contact information we'll use to schedule with Mary. And then for payment, you want to choose on invoice because in this scenario, Mary will pay this invoice and then she'll be paid for the year. So we're going to put it on invoice. And then now, if you're in front of the customer, you can show your customer this and it will have all the details. Or you can also send it to your customer and they'll be able to review it online and make a payment. But for today's example, we're ready to take payment now. Mary's going to pay up front, and then we won't need to charge her when we go out and do the actual visit. So let's record payment. That little pop-up is just saying we did not grab a signature from Mary, which I do recommend that you do, but you can just bypass it there if you need to. And what we're saying is that this invoice today is being paid for. We're going to take a payment for $100 on this invoice, and it's automatically applying this to our Comfort Club plan that we are signing her up for. This part is important, but when you're doing it this way, it'll recognize that we are selling a maintenance plan and automatically do this for you. So this is fine. We know we're paying for this invoice and we're applying the payment to the Comfort Club plan. That's all pre-set up. You don't have to click anything. It's just going to know what you're wanting to do, and then you just take the payment. So let's say they paid with a check today, date received, and record payment. And now you will see, here's the invoice, here's the payment. And if we go back to Mary's customer page and we go to maintenance plans, we see that she's now a maintenance plan customer because we can see the star. You hover over that star and it shows you which plan she's on. And then here we can see the payment has been applied. So we have a balance of $0. We can see this will expire in February of next year. And if you click on applied, it will just show you the history of how that payment was made. We took a check and it was recorded. And now all you would need to do is go out and do the visits, but you won't need to charge the customer anything because they've already paid. So that is one scenario. Some people don't do it that way. Another scenario is you want to take payment at time of service. So that means we're going to sign the customer up and just get them into the system as a maintenance customer, but we're not going to take payment just yet. When the technician goes out and does the service, they will take payment in the moment. And so let's see a scenario of that. To do this, we will go to our customer, Emily Davis. And to do this one, so we're taking payment at time of service, which means we're not going to invoice the customer up front like we just did. Instead, we're going to add the maintenance plan just from the maintenance plan tab. So for this scenario, we're charging the customer at time of service when we go out there. Go to the customer page, add the maintenance plan. So click your plus sign here. We'll choose our plan name. Let's same plan, Comfort Club plan. And for this, we are going to take payment still. So we do want to charge the customer. So we want to make sure we have how much that payment is. Let's say in this scenario, they will pay, the annual price is $100. When we go out, we will take a payment for $50 for visit one and then $50 for visit two. And your system will be able to track that. And let's do that now. So $100 for the year. Update the other information if you want, but let's continue. We're going to go out there in the spring to do an AC cleaning. We'll charge them $50 then, and then we'll go out in the fall, do a heat cleaning, and charge them $50 then. Let's hit next. Reminders, this is just who do you want to reach out to when it's time for reminding them to schedule their maintenance visit. And then for payment, we want to do not now because we are not taking payment up front. We will charge later at time of service. So not now and done. So there we go. Also, I saw someone join, maybe perhaps Jessica. Welcome. And just to let you know, we are recording today's session, so you will be able to watch a replay of this and catch anything you may have missed. But glad you're here. And if you do have questions, we will do a live Q&A at the end. Welcome, welcome. You're good. You're good. Okay, so we have now officially signed the customer up. They are a maintenance plan customer, and we see that it has created the maintenance job for our AC cleaning and the maintenance job for our heat cleaning. And when it's time to schedule and take that payment, uh, we need a technician to go out and do this AC cleaning and charge the customer, $50. So first, you will want to schedule that. So let's schedule by clicking the little calendar. And let's say that we're going to go out there, today at 3 to 4. And we'll send our trusty Dustin, my field tech out there. And we're good to go. So let's hit schedule. This appointment now has been scheduled within the AC cleaning job, so we know it's in the right place. And let's say I'm just going to click on this calendar again. We're doing a scenario. So let's say Dustin goes out and he does the service, and he marks the appointment as complete. And let's hit save. So the appointment's complete. And now we've got our balance here is $100. And either Dustin in the field, my technician, will take payment in the field, or me from the office. I can just go in and take payment here. And we're actually going to do this without an invoice. So here is how to do that. I need to take a $50 payment for this maintenance plan. I'm going to click into the visit that Dustin just completed, the AC cleaning. And I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. We're going to go to invoices and payments. And we just want to apply a payment directly to the maintenance plan. So let's do, you could do process payment or record payment. Let's do record payment. And what we want to do is take a payment for half of their total contract. So we're going to do payment without invoice. And we're going to say $50. So now we're making a payment of $50 without an invoice, but we want to apply that payment to the maintenance plan directly. So we will apply a portion or all to a maintenance plan. The system knows which plan we're talking about because that's the one that is currently not expired. It's there. Select that. And we want to only pay $50 today because we'll collect the second half, the next 50 at the next visit. So this is now ready to go. We are saying we're making a payment without an invoice. We're applying this to the maintenance plan. And let's say they paid, with cash today. And now we will record payment. That will then, it should show the payment below here. What did I do wrong? Let's take a look at that again. Okay. Actually, let me check. Let me check first. Hold on. Okay. So AC cleaning, let's refresh. Okay. I thought the payment would show here in the job. I thought it would show here. It did apply. So I know I'm clicking around really fast. So we're on the job. We just took a payment and that payment has applied here. So we can see we took a $50 payment and that has been applied. Now, we took this payment without an invoice. So you could technically create an invoice, add a $50 item from your price book, and just charge them through the invoice. That's if you want an actual invoice document. But if you are just wanting to apply the payment directly, you will see that here. And this is where you'd be able to track whether the payment was made versus having an invoice that you're pointing back to. Cool. And so then when you go out for the heat cleaning, you will do the same scenario. Take the $50 payment, then it will show that here as well with the date and time. And you were able to accomplish adding the maintenance plan up front and then taking the payment at time of service. All right. Another scenario, let's go over how to offer a recurring payment. So we want to sign the customer up for a maintenance plan. We're going to collect their payment information, add it to their account, and then it's just going to go on an auto debit and auto renew. And let's go over kind of that process. The first thing is you want to make sure that you have a plan that either starts with Well, let me show you. Let's go to more applications, maintenance plans. When you're setting up your templates, you can choose the contract length until canceled. Now, you can update this in the moment if you're adding a plan to a customer and you pick a plan that's 1 year. You can just update it to until canceled in the moment, but you don't want to forget. So sometimes it is nice to make sure you're setting up a until canceled plan so that way it's already correct. And the way that this works, when you set up, and we're talking about this right here, the contract length on the template is until canceled. That is going to create the next 20 years of service windows, and you'll use those service window jobs as time goes on to go out and do the service. But what will happen is that will now be set. So the contract is not going to expire, technically for until 20 years from now. And you set them up on a recurring payment plan. Now those work really well together. The payment plan will just take the payment at the interval you set, and you don't have to worry about the plan expiring. You don't want an expired plan and a recurring payment because it'll keep taking the payment even though their plan is expired. And then you won't have any jobs to schedule with. So you just want to make sure until canceled is the option to choose for recurring payments. Now, how do I set up a recurring payment? There are many different ways that you can set up a maintenance plan. For this scenario, let's go to our customer, Mary Smith. And let's delete. So, teachable moment here. If you want to delete a plan, you just click the trash can icon and hit yes, cancel maintenance plan. And that will just remove it. Now, if you click on show canceled and expired plans, you will be able to see the historical record of those, even the ones that you canceled. And you can restore them here if you cancel it in error. This is a pro tip. All right, so we want to set up a recurring payment plan, and let's do this through an invoice. Let's do the invoice option. So we will create a new job form. We know that we want to set Mary here up for a maintenance job, or sorry, for a maintenance plan, and we will create new invoice. And then let's go down. We're going to recommend a maintenance plan. And let's choose our Comfort Club plan. And I believe we need to add it first. Let's hit save. And then let's do sign up now. And we want to update until canceled, which I did think was available on here. Let me just double check this. Sales agent. Okay. Okay. I believe I was incorrect then. Okay. My apologies. So it is important that you create a plan that has the until canceled uh, option set because I'm not seeing. We could set it here. No, we don't want to do that. Okay. So let's take a step back here. Do you want to cancel the maintenance plan setup? Yes. Do you want to save? No. Okay. So let's go make a until canceled plan. Or just make sure we have one. And let's do, oh, do we have any? We don't. Well, let's just make this one. So the one system residential plan, we'll make this until canceled. The 20 years are the until canceled. Yes, that is correct. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. So the peak for performance plan is 20 years. That one is until canceled. Annual preventative 20 years. Good tip, Allison. So yeah, if you want to see which is the until canceled plan from this page, you will choose, you'll be able to see that because it says 20 years. Okay. And so, again, my apologies. I thought you could update that in the moment, but you will need to make a until canceled version of the plan. That way, the system knows what to do when signing up. Okay, so we'll use this AC maintenance here. So let's go back and we want to recommend a maintenance plan. Let's do AC maintenance. Contract length 20 years, so we know that's our until canceled plan. And this will be an annual price of 149. And let's hit save. And then we will do sign up now. And for this scenario, we want to set up a recurring payment plan. So this is our plan start date is in 2026. Our plan end date is in 2046. And annual price is 149. Let's scroll down. This you can update any of this information here that you want. But let's continue. Let's hit next. This is saying that we're going to go out and do the spring maintenance and the fall maintenance each year for the next 40 years. So your system is about to create 40 service windows and that AKA 40 jobs in the system. Will be attached to this maintenance plan and then setting up the recurring payment plan that will work very well together. So let's hit next. We already know about reminders. And this is the part where you're actually setting up the payment plan. So we know we can do recurring payment plans, but this part of sign up is where you actually create it. So we're going to choose payment plan. So this is saying that let's say they are going to pay annually. You could do monthly, quarterly, or annually. So they'll pay once a year. It'll be on an auto debit. It'll be 159 81. First payment will be on the 14th of February. And then here, auto generate an invoice for each recurring payment plan payment. What will happen is it will take the payment. This is going to be on an auto debit. And when that payment is made, your system will create an invoice as a documentation of that payment. So if you go back to your history, you'll be able to see, oh, an invoice was created and it was marked as paid. You can also choose the option to send your customer a receipt. So each time the payment is made, they'll get a message from your business saying, thanks for your payment. So that's up to you. If this is off, they won't get a receipt from you, but they'll still see that that payment happened in their bank. And then you have your options of taking payment. So we can either choose card information or bank account information, which you can pull from a check. So there's the ACH payment or the bank. We are PCI compliant, so their information is secure in the system, and it will essentially add this as a payment method onto their customer profile and will automatically take the payment on the interval that you set. Now, this is a test account, so we're not actually going to set up a real payment, but this is just to show you the idea of how this works. Once you have all the options selected and you've entered their card information, you will be able to hit done, and that will then create the next 20 years of service windows. And you will be able to track that recurring payment from the recurring payment page. So in this scenario, we would hit done. That will then, add the maintenance plan. Do you want to cancel? I cannot go forward here in the test account. Do you want to cancel? Yes. Do you want to save? No. But when they have all of those, actually, you know what? Let's set up. We'll go ahead and do it, but we won't take payments. So you can see the jobs. So we are doing until canceled, next, 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 and we'll just do not now for the example. And when you do this, it is literally creating 40 jobs. So this part does take a little while. While we're waiting on that, let's see how you can track the recurring payments. So to do this, we're going to go to payment options, payments, recurring payment. Now the recurring payment's nice. You can technically set it and forget it. You add their payment details and it's just going to auto renewal. You don't have to think about it. But that's probably not good business practice because if the payment doesn't go through or their card expires or something happens, it's not going to make that payment and you need a way to check that. You will go to payment options, payments, recurring payment. And this will show you all of your recurring payments. There's two sections. We have overdue payments. That means something went wrong. There was a failure of payment, and now their payment is overdue. And from here, you can see, what the failure reason was. You can choose to rerun the payment. But if that doesn't go through, you most likely need to reach out to the customer now and just let them know their payment method on file needs to be updated. And then you have your normal existing and upcoming payments, and these are the ones that are on auto renewal and just happening as intended. If someone, they really need help, you can select to skip a payment, and it will just skip that payment here. Now, where is, you do have the option to create a new payment plan from here as well. Okay. We have 3 more sections to go over, so I do need to pick up the pace just a little bit before we get into our live Q&A. So is this complete? Let's go back to Emily Davis. And let's go to maintenance plans. And that wasn't who. That wasn't who we were working with. Okay. I am having a brain fart. Do you guys remember which customer we were using for the recurring payment plan? Why did that not set up? Mary Smith? I really just want to show you what 40 of those jobs look like. Hmm. Okay. When you have a plan that is until canceled, it will show up here. You'll see the plan expiration date is, 20 years in the future. And then this list here, you will just see, you'll be able to scroll through all 20 years of their service windows from here. But when you're actually scheduling, you won't see all of those because you're going to be changing the filters to the year that you're looking at. So that won't get in the way. But you will have a big list here. It's possible that it timed out for some reason. But let's move on. We want to now look at tracking renewals. And so you sign your customers up on a year to year contract, let's say. At the end of that contract, at the end of that year, it will be marked as expired and you'll need to sell them a new plan. To track this, I recommend going to reporting. And then we will need the maintenance plan customers report. So that is on the reporting page, and that is here under maintenance plan customers. From here, you can see your amount of expired plans in your system. You can see how many current plans you have, and how many future plans there are. And then from here, if you're wanting to see, who has an expired plan, uh, get your status to expired. And now here is a list of all expired plans. And you are able to, reach out to these customers and sign them up for a new plan. And maybe I want to look at current plans that are not expired yet, but I want to see plans that are expiring. So we're in January, plans that are expiring or I'm sorry, we're in February, plans that are expiring in March 2026. So this is saying these are the customers who next month, their plan is about to expire, and I most likely will want to reach out to them and sign them up for a new plan. But the maintenance plan customers report is a great spot to track renewals. And then now let's switch over to the mobile app just to show you how to use sign a customer up for a maintenance plan from the mobile app. There we go. Okay. So now this is just an example of the mobile app. When you log in, you're on the jobs page. And I have my customer here, Bree Anderson. I want to sign uh, her up for a maintenance plan. So I'm just going to tap on my appointment. And in this scenario, we are charging via invoice. So let's go to invoices, and then we'll make a new invoice. And then same process we did on desktop. We'll choose offer maintenance plan. Let's say it's the Comfort Club plan, and we'll sign up. This is saying we need to select the tax group, which is something I think they're playing around with right now. Sorry, it's right here. If you want to update the tax group, it's here. You won't need to do this. It's going to automatically pull taxes based on the zip code. But sometimes this happens to me in this test account. So I do apologize for that. Uh, okay, that should be working there. And now let's sign up. And it's the same exact process. So we're signing them up for the Comfort Club plan. It's $100 a year. Maybe you want to track that this is being sold by a certain technician. So let's say Dustin Bailey. And then we will hit next. Here's our service windows, our reminders. We'll take payment today on invoice. And there we go. The Comfort Club plan is here. If you're adding other items from your price book to charge them for more than just the maintenance plan, that's fine. You can do that. But we will now scroll down. We're going to present the invoice and then take payment. That means they're paying for the maintenance plan today. And we'll scroll down. Let's hit next. And let's say they paid with a check number, and record payment. Now, let's say that your technician decides to do the today's visit as the first visit of this maintenance plan. We will go back and we want to go to the maintenance plans page. And then let's choose the Comfort Club plan. And this is what you want. You want service windows. This is January. Here we go. Here we go. So right here, was this service window completed on the current appointment? Yes. And hit save. Okay. And now that when we go back and mark this appointment as complete, let's just mark this as complete. There we go. Now, if we look at maintenance plans, we should be able to see, and we should be able to see back in the office that is a completed service window. Yep, right there. Complete. All right, so that is all the information that we have for today's presentation. I know we cut a little bit into our Q&A time. I do apologize for that, but we are going to shift to our Q&A now. So any questions that you have, let me know. But before we go, I just want to say thank you so much for joining. My name is Mark with WEX Field Service Management, and this has been Maintenance Plans Advanced.